Let's play some marbles. There's nothing else to do in the desert anyways.
Yeah, good idea.
Oh, let me try.
What do we do now? This is kind of boring.
I don't know. Wait to move on, I guess.
Yeah, with this tempo, we're never going to get far.
Hey, everybody! Oh, that didn't sound good. Hello! How are you today? What? It doesn't sound like you guys are really sure whether you're like good or not. But let me tell you this one thing then, okay? Listen to this, everybody. Because I'm going to tell you a secret. Are you ready for the secret? So let me tell you that today, did you know? Today is a happy day! Woo! No, you don't sound very happy. I think this needs some better explanation because, yesterday, the craziest thing happened. I mean, I have never in my life experienced anything that crazy. And I have experienced quite a few insane things in my life. Because yesterday, it was amazing. Because you remember Pharaoh? Yeah? Pharaoh is the king in Egypt. He's the ruler in Egypt, right? And Pharaoh, he's a strict man. And he's not very nice to anyone, especially not us, the Israelites. And Pharaoh is a real madman. But then, not too long ago, Moses came, my brother. He came to Egypt. And he said, do you know what he said? He said that we, like all the Israelites, we had to leave because God was going to take us to a promised land to worship him. So we had to go. He was going to give us the land of the Canaanite, the Jebusites, the Hittites, the Amorites, and all those nations. That was going to be our land. So you see, look at this map, yeah? Egypt is over here. And the land that God is going to give us is over here. Yeah? But instead, right now, we are like right down here. Which means, do you know what that means? That means that we have gone here. And instead of going right there, which would make sense, we will have to go all the way, because Sinai, that's a big mountain. So then we have to go all the way around like this, and then get there. That's a massive detour. But I believe that God has a reason why he is leading us in that direction. He must have a reason, because that's how God works. Everything that God does, there is a reason behind it. There always is. So we left Egypt, and yesterday we came to the seashore of the Red Sea. And then we camped there, and then we could hear the Egyptians coming behind us. And I was like, I knew Moses was chosen by God. Yeah? But as we were trapped there, the Egyptians came, and we were like, what do we do? But then God, he's always with us in a visible way, right? So during the day, he's a pillar of fire. No, during the night, he's a pillar of smoke. That's what I mean. He's a pillar of smoke during daytime. And then, yeah. Then, during night, God. What? Do you know how we can see God's presence in the night? It's a pillar of fire. And now, just see. I'm going to show you what it looks like, yeah? It's just going to take a little time. Woo. You have to pay close attention. This is going to happen very quickly. You know, that's what the pillar of fire looked like. So, you know, in those two elements, the pillar of smoke and the pillar of fire, that is how we see God's presence. And through that, we all know that God is with us all the time. Isn't that amazing? It's pretty cool. But then, yesterday, when the Egyptians were coming behind us, God did something I've never seen God do before. Because this visible sign, God moved. So instead of, he's always been in front of us. But then yesterday, he moved, so he was behind us. And that was a little weird. But do you know why he did that? He did it so that the Egyptians could not see us. Because we were trapped between the Egyptians behind us and the sea in front of us. And I was kind of panicking. I was like, no, what do we do now? And Moses had this great idea. Moses said, nah, we just have to cross the sea. And I was like, what? How can we cross the sea? But then he also said that that was what God had told him that we would do. So I was like, okay, let's try. So Moses, he lifted his staff to the sky. And what happened then was that the sea split in two. So it parted. And then all of us walked through the Red Sea. And we could see the fish and the shark and the jellyfish on the side. You know, it was pretty cool. And then, when we were there, we were almost over on the other side. Then we could hear the Egyptians coming behind us. And the Egyptians, they had horses and chariots, so they came fast. I mean, they came really fast. And it just about, I can see the smoke is still there. So we can know that God is here, that's for sure. But you know, so when we were just about on the other side, then God closed the water again. And he was a little sad because the Egyptians, they didn't make it. So that was a little sad. But then, when we were on the other side, then the celebration began. Because then, God saved us from the Egyptians. It's amazing. Isn't that amazing? Oh, you really don't get it, do you? It's amazing. It is amazing, right? But, hey, you two, you don't really look happy today.
I think the desert is overrated.
Same.
Yeah?
I mean, Egypt wasn't really that bad. I miss the food they served us. The yummy beef and the fresh juice.
Same.
But hey, don't you understand? I mean, didn't you just hear my explanation? Why this is just so amazing.
Yeah.
I don't really get what's so exciting about it, though.
Me neither.
Okay, so let me try to explain this to you in a different way this time. Because you see, this is not the first time that God has kind of tried to create paradise. And he does it through water. Like, he's kind of controlling the water in a way. You remember Noah?
Yeah.
Do you remember Noah? You know, the man who built the boat so that he can save all the people when the flood came. In a similar kind of way, now God is kind of, because we were Pharaoh slaves, right?
Yeah.
And then yesterday, we followed Moses through the Red Sea. So God kind of led us through water again. So he led us from Pharaoh, from slavery in Egypt, and into freedom. You know, he led us Exodus. Do you get it? You know, so it's, and I think God does the same for us as well, sometimes. You know, life without God is sin. But life with God, that's freedom. You know, it's amazing. You know, it's like God creates a fantastic new life for us that he prepares. Just like we are going to the promised land that God will show us now. You know? And yeah, so let me look at this. I'm going to illustrate in a different way. So you see this big vase I have here? It's pretty big, it's pretty nice. And you know, this is kind of, you can come closer. This is my life, or this might be your life, or your life, of any or your life, yeah? And then we have a choice. Because we can choose to do good, or we can choose to do bad. Yeah? And this arrow is pointing in the direction of what I do. So I want to do good. I want to do good. But then so often I find myself do the bad. And we were in Egypt, right?
Yeah.
Was Egypt a good place or a bad place?
Bad.
Egypt is a bad place. Even though we had loads of good time in Egypt as well. But then what is so amazing is that when we let God lead us through the water, or when we let God fill us through the water, because I tend to do bad. Let's be honest. I tend to do bad. But then what happens? Look at what happens when I let God fill me with his water. Yeah? So I tend to do bad, and then I let God fill me. So you know, should I do it again? Okay. So I'll tend to do bad, and I let God fill me with his water. You know, it's kind of like a real exodus in that way, you know? That I can exodus from you can hold it a little longer. Like, I can exodus from the bad and to the good kind of thing. You know, we exodus from Egypt, and then God led us through the water, and he's taken us to the promised land. You know? I can exodus from having no friends, and then God is my best friend. You know? Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You know? Do you get it now?
Yeah, now I get it.
So it's like I let God lead my life and all will be good.
Yeah. I think it's not like it's going to be like happy clappy all the time. You know? But when I let God lead my life, then I think I can let God guide me in a way. And I can let God fill me with his love and the bright future that he has in store for me. It's like I get to be a part of the blessing that has been promised to our people. You know? It's like, but that's a choice that I will have to make. You know, whether I want to be filled with God's water, or walk through God's water. Or if I don't, I would say, that this is the reason why I would say that God is my Savior. Because God saved us from Egypt. He saved us from slavery, And that's why we sing. That's why we celebrate. That's why I want to tell the world who my God is. Because, that is what it's really about. And when this is what we're experiencing, it's kind of difficult not to be happy. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Don't you agree? Don't you agree? If I know that God saves me through his water, then we can't sit and be like, we have to celebrate. We have to do a little happy dance. Because we can know that God saves us.